There are moments when life shifts almost quietly, and suddenly the room changes just because you walked in. It's as if the air itself starts humming with the energy you're bringing, and people can't help but notice, even if they pretend they don't. Lately, things have been turning in your favor, and the ripples are impossible to hide. You're not just receiving blessings, you're setting off a chain reaction that makes everyone around you sit up and pay attention whether they like it or not. Every breakthrough you experience is like a silent drumbeat echoing through the walls of every room you enter. Some faces grow uneasy, others keep their distance, unsure of how to approach you now that you're moving differently. Their reactions aren't random, it's a reflection of the powerful energy you've started to carry, the kind that quietly commands respect without ever raising its voice. It's not about arrogance, it's about finally understanding your own worth. Those who once doubted you are watching from the sidelines, wrestling with emotions they can barely name. The news of your progress moves faster than gossip, traveling from ear to ear, leaving surprise and envy in its wake. You're not chasing approval anymore. You're walking your own path, and that confidence disrupts every space you step into. People who used to feel comfortable putting limits on you now feel uncomfortable simply because you've stopped accepting less. This new chapter isn't just about personal victories, it's about rewriting every unspoken rule that used to hold you back. The universe has shifted the script, and you're no longer playing the supporting role in someone else's story. Instead, you're shaping your own destiny, and it's forcing everyone around you to rethink their opinions, their alliances, and maybe even their own paths. There's an undeniable glow that can't be copied or faked, and those who tried to silence it are realizing that their influence is fading fast. Every step forward is a silent invitation to others. Rise, believe, transform. The way you're moving now has started a quiet revolution in the hearts of those who were waiting for someone, anyone, to break free first. And as you move into this season of growth, know that what's happening isn't luck or coincidence. It's the natural outcome of choosing to honor yourself, even when nobody understood your vision. The shift isn't just external, it's proof that when you change within, everything around you is compelled to follow. Sometimes the world sends signals that change the atmosphere, as if an invisible line has been crossed and everything quietly rearranges itself. Lately, there's a sense that something big has been put in motion. One of those rare moments when fate chooses a side, and the energy in the room is never the same again. People who once seemed unbothered now wear a look of restless uncertainty, like they've heard a warning their pride won't let them admit out loud. In truth, something has shifted, and those who tried to keep you down are facing the echo of every choice they made in the dark. There's a new sense of urgency swirling around certain people's lives, a pressure they can't explain or escape. While you're stepping into a new sense of possibility, those who spent their time undermining you are scrambling, searching for exits that no longer exist. The tables have turned so quietly that it almost doesn't make sense, yet deep down everyone feels it. Suddenly, the ones who thought they could control the narrative are forced to sit with the outcomes they set in motion. What once looked like certainty now feels like sand slipping through their fingers. Behind the scenes, old schemes unravel. There's a kind of restless chaos where people are chasing after solutions to problems they thought they'd never have to face. Some are staying up late, trying to fix cracks that are growing wider by the hour. The stress isn't just about money or status, it's about realizing the consequences of ignoring the line between right and wrong. Where you've found alignment and grace, they're stuck in a cycle of their own making, hoping no one sees the truth that's becoming impossible to hide. This isn't just about individual grudges or isolated moments of jealousy. The resistance you've faced was never accidental. It was the work of people who hoped to see you falter, who put effort into making your journey more difficult. Yet all that plotting has turned into a trap of their own design. The same moves that were meant to block you are coming back around, and every action has created a ripple that no one can control anymore. What looked like obstacles were just the start of a transformation that now demands to be acknowledged. The landscape is changing for everyone, but especially for those who thought they could play with what was meant for you. As you stand in this new light, you're witnessing the natural order restore itself. You're not just overcoming, your growth is forcing every hidden motive, every disguised intention to come into the open. In this new season, what's truly yours will stay with you. while those who acted out of envy or greed will find themselves answering to something much greater than they imagined. And in that space, you'll see that your rise was never just about you, it was about shifting the entire story for everyone watching. No force has managed to pull you off course, no matter how many times others tried to shake your ground. It's like you moved through storms without letting a single drop touch you. Their plans fell apart before they even reached your doorstep, as if some unseen shield turned their efforts into dust before your eyes. As the dust settles, the ones who expected you to crumble are left trying to figure out how you're not only still here but actually rising higher. What they sent out to unravel you only made your path clearer, while they're stuck watching the very drama they set in motion turn on them instead. These attempts weren't just isolated acts of pettiness. This was an all-out effort to unravel every aspect of your world. Your work life was targeted, your connections and bonds were tested, even your sense of peace and sanctuary faced disruption. Every cornerstone you relied on felt the tremor. But every time they pushed, it was as if the universe rerouted their intentions, turning every challenge into a lesson, every setback into a stepping stone. The chaos they hoped would topple you ended up strengthening what they couldn't see, your spirit. Everything they wished for you has now circled back to where it started. The same individuals who launched attack after attack are experiencing the echo of their own choices. Apologies are whispered in the quiet moments, regret surfaces behind closed doors, but the story has already shifted. The universe has already drawn its line. What was done can't simply be erased with words. The outcome is written not by what's spoken, but by what's lived. Now, as remorse trickles through their days, you remain unmoved, focused on the horizon ahead. While others lose themselves in the mess they created, you're laying down the roots of something enduring. Foundations that once felt shaky are solidifying beneath your feet. Life is beginning to offer clarity after seasons of confusion, and every doubt is being replaced by a deeper understanding. Even the moments that once felt unbearable are now making sense, showing you that strength was quietly growing in the places you thought were weakest. The very instability that threatened to break you is revealing itself as proof that you were never off track. All that turbulence wasn't for nothing. Life was quietly shifting the pieces, removing the weights that didn't belong, freeing you from patterns and people that couldn't come with you into this new space. Every disappointment was the earth moving beneath your feet, making way for things that actually fit the person you're becoming. When doors wouldn't open, it was so better ones could be built from the ground up. When certain faces disappeared, it was to clear the way for those who see you for who you really are. The whole time, even when it felt like you were losing, you were actually being set up to win. The more you embrace your own light, the more certain people find themselves lost in a maze of confusion. Every bit of progress you make, each smile, every ounce of joy you radiate, seems to unsettle those who once wished for your downfall. It's as if every celebration, no matter how small, has become a reflection they can't avoid, showing them a reality they never wanted to face. The very act of living authentically, growing, and refusing to shrink is what's causing all the discomfort among those who counted you out. Witnessing your steady climb, the very individuals who hoped to see you stuck are now wrestling with feelings they can't even explain. The truth is, the sight of you stepping into your own strength, confident, content, and moving forward, serves as a reminder that their efforts never really had power over your destiny. Some are left replaying every decision they made, every word they spoke, realizing too late that the story didn't go as planned. What they tried to bury has blossomed right in front of their eyes. There was a time when certain people truly believed they could dictate your future, expecting you to remain trapped in the struggles they left behind. Maybe they even whispered to others, convinced that you wouldn't make it through the challenges set before you. Instead, you've outgrown the cages built for you, turning every restriction into a reason to expand further. The courage to rebuild, to rise in ways no one expected, is more than they can bear. Each new beginning you create leaves them bewildered, unable to process how you turn setbacks into stepping stones. Some days, the reaction from these onlookers borders on disbelief. They watch, uncertain whether to feel threatened or inspired by your persistence. The realization that none of their attempts to halt your growth succeeded has forced them to confront their own emptiness. What's eating them up isn't just your ability to bounce back. It's the undeniable truth that nothing can hold you back when you're determined to heal and flourish. What stands out most now is the unshakable peace you carry. The life you're building reflects a resilience that can't be copied or diminished. Every victory, every bit of happiness you show to the world, is both your reward and their reckoning. As they scramble to make sense of your newfound confidence, you keep soaring higher, proving again and again that no obstacle can eclipse a spirit committed to rising above it all. Adversity has a strange way of sculpting hidden strengths, even when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. The more you're challenged, the more resourceful and unbreakable you become. It's almost as if every obstacle was quietly preparing you for a version of yourself that never would have existed without the struggle. Looking back, it's clear you've evolved, sharper, wiser, and now carrying a quiet kind of power that can't be bought or borrowed. For anyone who's ever faced silent opposition in their daily life, here's a truth worth remembering. Those observing you from the shadows have been taking notes. Those in positions of authority see through the haze. Where others try to smear your name or twist your intentions, your reputation stands untarnished. Quiet diligence, consistent effort, and an unwavering sense of self have become your greatest allies. There's a quiet admiration for how you keep your composure, show up for yourself, and keep moving forward, no matter what's swirling around you. Meanwhile, those who orchestrated conflict are finding themselves cornered by the very narratives they created. The moment of reckoning always arrives, and it exposes every false move. As lines are drawn and truth comes to light, you're lifted up, not by chance, but by the evidence of your own resilience. Invitations to step higher will find you, even as others fade into the background, forced to reckon with the consequences of their own making. There's no hiding from the contrast. Growth stands out next to desperation. The reality is, some forces at play have been much deeper than simple rivalry. Beneath the surface, elaborate plans were crafted and roles assigned, all designed to test your boundaries and peace of mind. But the outcome was never really in their hands. The weight of their actions has circled back, and now the scales tip in your favor, revealing just how powerless their efforts truly were. Those who once felt invincible in their schemes are now feeling the squeeze, as promises go unfulfilled and the pressure mounts in unexpected ways. All along, while challenges tried to disrupt your sense of balance, you've been quietly rewriting the script. Each attempt to shake you loose only deepened your roots. Where others plotted, you persevered. Where they doubted, you delivered. The tables have turned, and the lessons learned have set you up for a breakthrough. In the end, the difficulties were never roadblocks. They were the very steps that elevated you to the next chapter. A wave of abundance is on the horizon, one that promises to lift you out of the limitations you've known for far too long. This isn't just about making ends meet. It's about breaking free from all constraints and stepping into a reality where your options are limitless. Imagine being able to create the life you've always dreamed of, every choice made from a place of confidence, every desire finally within reach. It's not a mere upgrade, it's an entirely new era, one where opportunity pours in and prosperity finds you at every turn. After seasons of being told to settle, you're about to witness what happens when the doors to real freedom swing wide open. The path ahead is shining, ready for you to walk through with certainty and gratitude. While this chapter unfolds for you, another story is unraveling elsewhere, and it's marked by the consequences of every hidden intention. The tide is turning swiftly for those who moved against you, and the fallout is impossible to ignore. Where you are rising, others are encountering the effects of their own actions in ways that cannot be softened or postponed. The universe has a way of balancing the scales with a precision that can't be escaped. Individuals who once felt untouchable are now grappling with the aftershocks of their own choices. This isn't a delayed response. This is swift, unmistakable accountability happening in real time. The reversal is profound. Where attempts were made to undermine your joy, now the architects of discord are confronting the fallout they set in motion. The unraveling is affecting every corner of their existence: security, reputation, relationships, even their own sense of stability. What once seemed distant is now their daily reality, an unrelenting reminder that no negative act goes unseen. It's not about punishment but about restoration, a cosmic correction that brings truth to light and reclaims balance for everyone involved. Meanwhile, your journey is marked by a new clarity and self-assurance. The weight of old struggles is fading, replaced by the thrill of watching everything align at last. Each breakthrough, each milestone, is a celebration, not just for what you've gained but for everything you've overcome to get here. Every step is evidence that the obstacles weren't there to stop you, but to push you toward greater strength and wisdom. You're not just surviving, you're thriving in a way that turns every hardship into a building block for your new life. This transformation isn't just about you. It's a message to everyone watching that it's possible to rise from the ashes, to turn every closed door into a new beginning, and to walk away from the past with more hope than ever. The story has shifted for good. Now, as you embrace a future filled with promise, know that the light you're stepping into is brighter than anything left behind. Not everyone is called to walk the kind of path you're on. Some lives are touched by a sense of direction that runs deeper than luck or coincidence. A force that quietly insists there's meaning behind every moment, every challenge, every victory. That's why the protection around you is so powerful, why setbacks never fully take root, and why those who try to slow your progress always end up facing a reality they never prepared for. What you carry isn't random. There's intention in every step, even in the times when doubt tried to steal your hope. The greatest pain wasn't about the obstacles themselves, but the loneliness of feeling cut off from something bigger, of wondering if you were ever really supported by anything beyond yourself. The truth is, the universe takes it seriously when people attempt to reroute a destiny that was never theirs to touch. There's a boundary that cannot be crossed, a natural law that activates when interference goes too far. Those who underestimated the depth of your calling mistook your journey for something ordinary, never realizing what was truly at stake. The response to their actions is always swift, and it brings clarity to every hidden agenda. People fade away, situations dissolve, and the landscape shifts so suddenly that it's impossible not to see the hand of something greater at work. You were never designed to carry the weight of betrayal or the shadow of other people's doubt. Every heavy moment was met with a force that works beyond the visible, a kind of silent intervention that clears space and brings support even before you know you need it. Protection isn't just about stopping harm, it's about making room for you to move forward, unhindered by the echoes of what was meant to stop you. It's the reason why new opportunities appear the moment you're ready to receive them, why peace settles in after every storm. The guidance on your journey is more than just a safety net. It's a preparation for what's next. Old limitations fall away, obstacles lose their grip, and the momentum you gain is unmistakable. You're being set up to step into new experiences that require less defense and more trust. There's an unseen network of support arranging things in your favor, moving pieces you can't even see yet, making sure the way ahead is not just safe, but open for you to claim what's truly yours. All of this is confirmation that your life has a rhythm, a pulse that can't be imitated or disrupted by anyone else's intentions. Where others see coincidence, you're living proof of purpose. The setbacks weren't signs of abandonment. They were proof that you're watched over, guided, and propelled forward by forces that only reveal themselves when you need them most. And now, every hindrance is dissolving, every doubt is losing power, and every step is drawing you closer to a season of fulfillment that was always waiting for you. There's a rare moment in life when the universe starts lining things up just for you, and everything asks you to be more intentional with your energy. This is that moment. Instead of reaching for someone to share this success with, trust that your journey right now is about expansion, focus, and building on the wave of good fortune rolling in. It's not about closing your heart, but about preserving your momentum and making sure nothing distracts you from the incredible run that's unfolding. Your growth is moving so fast that anyone unable to keep up would only slow you down. And when the time comes to let someone into your world again, you'll know what it means to expect nothing less than what you're giving to yourself. A new era is opening for you, one where you're treated with a level of respect and admiration that matches what you're building for yourself. That means it's time to raise the standard, not just in your career but in every connection. No more watering yourself down or giving endless chances to those who never saw your value. The past has served its purpose. Now you're being guided to embrace the truth. Sometimes letting go is an act of self-love, not cruelty. When old memories or old faces resurface, remind yourself that those who didn't show up in your hardest moments don't get to stand with you in your victories. Letting go is part of the elevation. People from your story's early chapters may reach out, but it's not your job to open the door just because they're knocking. Not every message deserves a reply. Not every sorry changes the past. The space you're in now is sacred, carved out by persistence, healing, and all the work you did alone. The future is calling you forward, and the only way to honor it is to keep moving, unburdened by what you've already outgrown. As the world sees you leveling up, some will try to find a shortcut back into your good graces. Maybe they send messages, maybe they hint at regrets, maybe they hope you'll remember the good times and forget the pain. But the universe has already made its choice. Some connections dissolve naturally, and it's not up to you to hold on to what's already faded away. The story is moving forward with or without them, and you get to choose who walks beside you. True freedom means knowing when to hold tight and when to let go. This season is about protecting the space around you so that every blessing has room to grow. The people who are meant for you will show up in alignment with the love, respect, and abundance you're manifesting. Anything less is just a reminder of how far you've come, and why you can never go back. When you start moving differently, the world responds in ways you'd never expect. There's a quiet shift in the atmosphere. Some people can feel the change before you even speak a word. Suddenly, those who once brushed you off are keeping a careful distance, choosing their words around you with new caution. There's a mix of admiration and uncertainty in their eyes. They've seen what happens when someone walks with an unexplainable protection, and now they're not willing to risk being on the wrong side of your story. The room feels different because you've become the person whose boundaries are now respected, even by those who never gave you a second glance before. For every wary onlooker, there are just as many hearts lit up by your journey. People are quietly studying your resilience, inspired by the way you turned every trial into a lesson and every setback into a launchpad. They're watching you, realizing that true strength isn't loud or boastful. It's the quiet confidence that comes from surviving what was meant to break you. You've become a living example that perseverance and faith can turn even the worst odds around. You're proof that some forces move with you, even when you can't see them, making you untouchable in the eyes of anyone paying attention. What's happening now is more than just a streak of good fortune. It's the return for all those years you kept pushing, even when you had every reason to stop. The tables are turning, and your wins are lighting up places where your name was once dismissed or doubted. The rewards you're receiving aren't just material, they're reminders of how far you've come, how deeply you've grown, and how unstoppable you really are. People who never believed in you will have no choice but to witness your rise. Some will try to rewrite history and claim they were always in your corner, but you'll remember who stayed silent, who looked away, and who rooted for your downfall.